The Paranormal Project Radio Show. Here are your hosts, Scott Allen and Christina Bowen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Paranormal Project Radio Show. This is the very first show of February, and we have been on hiatus for a few weeks. I'm alone tonight. Christina is not feeling too well, so she's taking the night off. I hope she'll be back with us next week. But we spent some time away. We were in San Antonio, Texas, excuse me, for the Lone Star Paracon. And boy, I have to tell you, we had a great time from the Riverwalk and the VIP experience. It was truly, truly a fantastic, fantastic experience. We got to stay in this mansion in San Antonio. It was called the Beauregard Mansion. And I got there before anyone else. Now, this building is massive. It's 3 levels, and I think there's like 7 bedrooms in the place. But I got in, and the first thing I thought was, man, it smells like an old haunted house. But the funny thing was, as it turns out, I slept on the first floor, and it was very quiet for me. Christina came in, got into her bedroom, which was in the front of the house. It's where she decided she wanted to sleep, and heard what she thought was a gunshot. And she called Barry Kling because she said, I just heard a gunshot. Are we okay here? He said, well, it's San Antonio, so who knows? But it seemed to be coming from inside the house. And then she heard a woman crying, sobbing. She could hear that in the other room. For the most part, it was pretty quiet until Sunday. We were sitting around, and there was a stack of Starbucks cups on the kitchen counter, and they just flew off and landed all over the floor. And I thought, well, that's different. And then the voices started coming, and we could hear people calling names. And it ended up being an eventful final night in the mansion. So if you are ever looking to stay in a haunted house, you can reach out to the Kling brothers who put on the Lone Star Paracon in San Antonio and tell them you want to rent the mansion. Yeah, so Christina is actually here watching. She just popped in the chat. She said, we saw that from the couch in the parlor. And I do remember that. I was sitting on the couch itself. I'm trying to show this. There we go. I was sitting on the couch myself, and I saw the cups go flying. That's when something grabbed my leg too. I felt something grab my foot. So if you ever want to stay, you can reach out to the Kling brothers, because I know that they have the contacts and they can arrange to get you in there. But it really, truly was. And I am now officially booked for 2025. I will be back there again, and that's going to be March of 2025, Lone Star Paracon in San Antonio. So if any of you are from Texas or want to take the trip, it is well worth the experience. We had a wonderful time. I also want to talk about, just a brief minute before we bring our guests out, I met our guests in San Antonio at the Paracon. They came, and Ryan, who's with us tonight, came and introduced himself and said they had a TV show and they wanted to talk about it. And we just happened to have an opening this week, which was miraculous. We had a guest that had to move her appearance on the show. So I said, come on down. We'd love to chat with all of you. While I was there, I launched Sense of Fear. We launched our scented candles. We have a line of, right now there's 16, and there's a bunch of others in production. But if you like scented candles, these are paranormally themed candles, but they're not spooky. So this one here is called Let Me Be Frank. and it's frightening citrus berry and monster musk. This one we did not have when we were there. This is one of the ones we did not bring with us. So that's one of the new ones. But I also have a couple here to show you that were two of the ones that sold out when we were there, which was amazing. This one is called Phantom Fire. So it is like the Gettysburg battlefield, and it smells like battlefield grass and ghostly cannons. And it's kind of that nice, fresh battlefield smell, I guess. And this one here, which honestly, the things that I thought weren't going to sell sold like crazy. This one is called Cereal Killer. It's cereal like your breakfast cereal. And you can see it. Like there it is. Maybe. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, no, you can't because the green screen's picking it up. Looks like Fruit Loops, smells like Fruit Loops. It's like your breakfast. So there's a whole bunch. If you go to senseoffear.com, and that's SCENTS of fear, and you'll see the whole bunch of them. And people seem to really be enjoying them. So I want to let people know. But that's not what our show is about. I've talked enough. I really want to bring our guests out. Chanel, can you bring everybody out onto the screen so we can have a chat? Here we go. Here they come. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Hi.
So who do we have here? We have Gypsy, Ryan, Melissa, Josh, Katie, and Colleen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, no, this is really great. And I'm glad, Ryan, that you came and introduced yourself at my booth in Texas.
The first thing I smelled your candles, and of course they're amazing.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Right. No, I appreciate it. It was nice. And then, and then Colleen came around. How did you come up with the idea for your show?
Well, I guess it all starts with me and Gypsy. She was doing a signing at a local haunted house, and we started talking, and next thing I know, she's like, if you put this show together, we'll make a TV show. And that's basically what has happened. So it's just progressed over the last year and a half, and yeah, that's how it all started. And it's slowly just, kind of snowball effect. And yeah, now we have an actual TV show. So
that's awesome. And you're just like at the point of launching it, right? So you don't have any full seasons out or anything yet. You're just at the beginning.
Josh, do you want to kind of explain what we're doing?
Right now, we are. I've actually done a sneak peek of the paranormal investigations that was played at the expo this past weekend. I've also got a couple of trailers out that we hope to air sometime soon before the first episode. But really, right now, it's just a process of getting everything edited down to an entire story. Mm-hmm. And we just got done with what they call the helium plant in Fort Worth, which is also a haunted house itself, but it was the very first helium plant in the United States and the world. And it was where all these Zeppelins would come in and air up their things. And that's it also became a hospital, it became a military base. There's so many stories behind it, and our objective right now is to just get a story that not only connects with the paranormal, but connects with any findings that Gypsy has doing metal detecting. So a lot of this is not just about the investigations, but it's also about the history and the findings, and hopefully relics that we can we can research while the episode's going on. So it's an amazing concept from start to finish. And when I was brought in, I did not know it was going to be a metal detecting show. It was actually a little right after a couple weeks after I met Ryan personally that it became metal detecting, and I thought that was even better than we could ever expect. And it's been a wonderful experience for not just me, but for the entire cast and crew.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's been doing, Gypsy. You do that. I mean, that's been your thing, right? That isn't new.
Yeah. So I've been metal detecting now for 25 years, but lifelong treasure hunter. But the metal detecting part for 25 years. And just a little bit about me is I just launched my first book. In fact, I had them at the Paracon there. Sorry.
Nice.
My first book, it's a beginner's guide to metal detecting. And I'm sponsored by Garrett Metal Detectors. And I've done some TV work on the Discovery Channel as well as the History Channel. And, you know, what I do a lot always connects with history. And what's more important about that and how it connects, you know, with the paranormal side is everything holds energy, you know, everything. And the fascinating part about that is how the history and these objects that I dig up have energy that connects, and that's what hopefully that what I will be able to bring, you know, that hasn't been seen before really on TV, not to this what's pinnacle or you know, not to this type of what I'm trying to think of the word, but you get my drift. Yeah, extent. So when Ryan and I first initially met, where Katie works, and I met Katie that night too, where this whole idea was birthed. I was actually asked to be a guest on another paranormal show to do the metal detecting. It was someone that saw my YouTube channel and was really into metal detecting and wanted to connect that. So that kind of gave us the idea, or gave me the idea, hey, you know. And so when I met Ryan and started talking to him, and he was just like, wow, you know, that would be a great idea. You really think you want to do something like that? And I was like, yeah. And then so he called me up a few weeks later and said, hey, if you're really serious about doing a show, well, let's do it. And you know, having that experience of already working on other TV shows and that sort of thing, and knowing what goes into the work, you know, it kind of helps to know what to do for for our project. And I'm really excited. It's really come a long way from the very beginning. You know, when I first met the team with, you know, Josh and Katie and Melissa and Ryan, and then now we've added Colleen, which what I love about that is she's a psychic, and she's going to be able to, you know, touch these objects and hopefully get readings from some of these objects, and being able to connect, you know, these objects to the history of the property. It's just going to, you know, blow your mind once that starts happening.
That sounds great. So how does the show work? You know, you start out the episode, and where are you? I mean, how do you go from ghost hunting to?
So basically, it'll start out with a history brief, you know, about the history of the property, because all of these properties, you know, why are they being haunted, or why is there's this paranormal activity? Well, that's why we bring in this whole team of investigators, and everybody has their own unique way that they can add to and investigate with their own experiences and their own unique ways to, you know, get to the bottom of these paranormal, you know, incidences. And then so basically, you know, introduce you to the history of the property, which is very important to know where you're at, what you're doing. And then that's where I come in and metal detect and find these objects. And then I will bring them to the team to hopefully connect to maybe even find an object that's connected to someone that lived at that property. Or I've found objects in the past, you know, that actually have names on them that were personal items. So to be able to connect something like that to a place you're investigating it's just so unique and so cool. And then they'll be able to, like, Colleen and the whole team will be able to take it in there, these objects, and say, oh, well, we know that so and so lived in this room. This is where their bedroom was. Well, let's bring this object in here and use it maybe as a trigger object to, you know, hopefully get some readings or some unique response.
That's great. And then, Katie, what is your job?
Well, as a part of this project, I'm a paranormal investigator, but as Gypsy and Ryan was saying, they met me through Hangman's House of Horrors, that is the haunted house located at the helium plant. And working at that location and knowing nothing about paranormal investigating, I learned the very in-person way that what happens when you're in a haunted building for periods of time and have experiences. So, yeah.
So wait, it's like a Halloween haunted house, not a haunted location. It's like
It's a haunted location that has a Halloween haunted house in it. But we didn't really know it was all that haunted when we moved into that property. We're like, this is an amazing, really cool property. Let's put a haunted house there. And over time, we're like, okay, all right, we're not alone. It's very active here.
Wow, how cool! Yeah, you don't need all the Hollywood stuff. I mean,
It's wonderful.
No,
though. Please, everybody, something for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Are you sorry? I thought you were going to say something, right? Are you like the paranormal side, right? You're the paranormal
Yes,
investigator.
I do the. Yeah, I'm paranormal investigator, and kind of came up with this. Me and Gypsy came up with this whole concept. I mean, like all the locations we've done in the or whatever, probably, I would definitely say the helium plant is by far the most active that we've done. I mean, some of the stuff that's happened is just insane. Do you, Melissa, want to kind of tell them one of your stories that happened when we were there and doing and filming?
Well, we were filming and we were doing an Estes method, and they had me in another room and they were asking me questions, and I had the little earphones on. And I felt like this heaviness of some guy standing over me. And I heard through the radio, it sounded like gunshots at first, and then I heard necklace. So I repeated.
Oh, I think we lost their audio.
Yeah.
Melissa, I think we lost you. So I'm going to ask, are you, the rest of you, familiar with the story that she's telling? Or
Oh yeah.
Katie is. I'm not. Right. Josh is.
As she was hearing something about a necklace, I was about 2 rooms away in the building, and I started to feel like I just nauseous or couldn't breathe and whatnot. And so I went down the opposite end away from everybody to quietly, I don't know, pass out, throw up. I didn't know what was going to happen. And the area around the necklace that I'm wearing it right now, I felt like I was being strangled. But like something not by the chain, but like by like a force, like a hand. And I play with this necklace, this crystal, whenever I get like nervous, and so I had it in my hand, and then it just went from there. And all I remember is that I couldn't breathe, and I was panicking, and then Melissa got overwhelmed with what she was experiencing, and so she was in a bit of a panic, and we just panicked together, even though we weren't in the same room. It was really, really overwhelming. That entity he does not like us at all.
wow.
So.
And then Colleen comes in and she picks up on things around the location and the objects. Have you ever not gotten an object? Have you ever gone and been like, well, there's nothing here connected to this building? Or
Very, very rarely, because energy doesn't just disappear when somebody passes away. You know what I mean? It can stay where they spent most of their time, where they were most emotionally connected, where they had a traumatic experience, or it can go with them and pass on. But I'm learning as we go that the passing on part is less frequent than people like to think it is. It's very, I wouldn't say very rare to come across a building, location that doesn't have any activity in it. Honestly, it's insane.
do you find that you have to go in cold?
Absolutely. I know nothing about I know where we're going. I know the building name, and that's it.
When she actually goes in, before she just not because she doesn't know anything. It's because she tells us, "Hey, I don't want to know anything what's going to happen because I pretty much want to be surprised and see for yourself." So we don't give her any of the history. We don't give her anything before she goes into a location.
I want to go in absolutely blind, knowing nothing.
Now, Gypsy, I think when I asked if you've never gotten objects, I guess I could have asked you the same question. Do you ever not get anything connected with the building when you are doing your metal detecting?
Now it really depends on the property
Mhm.
and how much area there is to metal detect sometimes, because some of the places it's hard to find, like if it's a hotel where they've got it all cemented in and they've got a parking lot now, you know, a lot of those objects are under there. So we're trying to be choosy on what places we investigate. That way I've got an area to metal detect.
Right.
And sometimes that can be a little difficult at times. And sometimes you might not find exactly what you're hoping for. But the cool thing is as you know, as a detectorist and just the history part as well, even if I don't find anything or anything of great significance to the history, I can also research and bring some history, maybe shed some light on some of the history or what's going on by some of the things that I dig up, you know, maybe through research as well. So it's kind of digging history as well as digging the objects. So that's why I love this is the history too, and how it can connect with the paranormal.
I bet. I'll just tell you, you know, on that, I've never done metal detecting in my life, but I don't know if I told you, I tell people on the show all the time, I used to be a funeral director. I owned 3 funeral homes at one time.
Oh, wow.
Over a period of 35 years. And we built a brand new building from the ground up. And when they were doing site work, they found a foundation. And the foundation was connected to this old mansion that had been there like 100 years earlier. It had burned down.
Wow.
That's
It was all
cool.
wooded. I mean, it was completely wooded and overgrown, but we found druggist bottles, shoes, pots and pans, all kinds of things connected to the people that lived in that house. Put them in a box, threw them in the garage, and man, did the haunting start. I mean,
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know,
Stairs and everything.
it's very common for a lot of metal detectorists that do what I do that actually, so I have a YouTube channel, and a lot of times, you know, we're digging these historical objects where, like I said earlier, there's energy attached. You know, who was the last person that held that? Who was the last person that lost that? How did that, you know, end up there?
Right.
And like you said, some of these properties, it's amazing what you can unearth, even if it's not a metal object, because I do a lot of what we call dump digging, or, you know, all of these old homes, like back then they didn't have trash service. So I do what they call privy digging too. If anyone knows what a privy is, back in the day, it was the toilet. You know, they'd have the wooden outhouses in the back.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they'd be there reading their newspaper or whatever. You know, they didn't quite have toilet paper like we did either. So, you know, they'd drop all kinds of things in, you know, there. But it's cool, you know, because I find bottles while I'm digging. I mean, the metal detector may not pick it up, but you'll be surprised the non-metal objects that I find, like marbles and old bottles and things, and old doll, you know, dolls, and is one thing that's really creepy. Like yesterday, I just found a doll arm from an old, you know, ceramic doll, just a surface find. But that's what's really cool, and that could be an object that they could use, you know, as well. So I love my first thought when you told me that about that funeral home and them digging that up. I love to detect and sift those old piles when they're doing this construction and building parking lots and stuff like that, because then it's probably going to be buried for another 100 years if you don't get that opportunity to do that.
You don't grab it. That's
right.
So you're based out of what, Fort Worth? Is that where you're based out of, the Fort Worth area?
Yeah, we're based out of DFW, Fort Worth. Yeah.
Okay. And your travels, I mean, the places that you're going to are pretty much located in and around that area, or how
Yeah,
far do you travel?
like all the places, all the locations we've done is mostly in Texas,
Hmm.
East Texas, North Texas, and South Texas. So I mean, that's basically we're trying to explore the state of Texas right now, and there's so much history here that people don't even realize it. You know how we can
Oh,
apply this metal detecting with haunted locations and all that stuff. This is the first time a show's ever been done like this.
yeah, I don't
Right.
think I've ever seen it.
And I think as we grow and, once the seasons, after, I think it'll grow from Texas as well, because just like at the Paracon, I don't know if you heard it, Scott, but remember the lady from the UK?
Yeah.
That was one of the guest speakers. I can't remember her name, but she was giving her talk and she's talking about these castles where, there's this king, that once dwelt in these castles, king and queen, and they were having apparitions and all that. Can you imagine digging and metal
Oh, yeah.
detecting one of those castles? I was just like sitting there drooling, thinking
That'd be like the
"Oh, gosh, I
pinnacle of
can-"
things.
It totally would. So who knows? We're starting in Texas, but we're already, I've been getting a lot of offers lately of, hey, we've got a place over in Oklahoma, or we've got a place here, so hopefully it'll span out. But we're starting with the area right now where we can all, easily
Sure.
access.
Texas is a big state. And
It
San
really
Antonio,
is.
have you done anything in San Antonio? Because San Antonio is pretty haunted.
Well,
It's very haunted.
yeah. So that's another thing. When you mentioned your candles earlier, and you were talking about the battlefield thing, what was that candle called?
Phantom Fire.
Phantom Fire. So, like the Kling brothers, when I first met them, I was actually metal detecting on we were actually looking for a cold case on a missing person.
Oh.
And I met the Kling brothers working with that, working my part along with another psychic as well. And anyway, long story short, I'm going to be working with the Kling brothers as well on a spot where an old Civil War battlefield was. So I'm hoping to possibly get our whole team later, and then maybe we can join with the Kling brothers when I go do that metal detecting battlefield in Virginia. So that would be an awesome thing.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Hopefully we'll get that, worked out with the production company and stuff to where we can do that. I think it would make an amazing episode.
That sounds great. Yeah, Josh, do you have a filmmaker background? Is that your thing?
Yeah, I've been doing I've been a filmmaker since I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So just like every other filmmaker, you have those issues where you think, oh, I'm finally gonna make it, and you're like, oh, something. But this has been the first real opportunity to actually showcase not only the work that I've done since I was 17, but also help other filmmakers. Like I have a teacher that I had since high school who has got out to me about sound people, cameramen, anyone that's involved in editing, that's been willing to help with our show as well when we do need novice filmmakers. So I've been editing since I was like 15.
Oh, wow.
So, and directing since I was 20 something. So, and now I'm 41. So it's time. It's time to get something going.
There you go.
Yeah. So, luckily I met Ryan through a Facebook advertisement that he did, and it's been magic ever since.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, you didn't all just know each other and decide to do this. It was all kind of, you all kind of came at it
Well,
independently.
I guess I guess I can kind of explain the whole stair-stepping process of all this. I met Gypsy and I met Josh, but I had already known Katie and Sean of our paranormal group and whatever. And we just all kind of built, it's just been a kind of a snowball effect of us. And everybody's just been so intrigued with this project and just willing to, work at what we're trying to accomplish. And everybody sees my vision of what I'm trying to create. And I think it's just been awesome. Everybody loves what we're trying to do.
And we're also willing to sacrifice our bodies and minds for everything that's going on right now. Trust me.
Right. And what a lot of people, and I'm sure from other paranormal shows, you see even the behind the scenes stuff, like the stuff that Josh does and our camera people do, the things that happen to them as well, the paranormal experiences. So I think one cool thing that hopefully we'll be able to fit into the show as well is have a few, behind the stage or behind the scenes moments, because I mean, Josh has had some amazing experiences, and I know we got to Katie. I mean, Melissa started explaining her story earlier, and I don't know, most of you probably don't know, but Melissa is a nurse, so she's really handy to have on there as well because of her nurse background. Katie's over here getting choked. And
we have a medic on set and paranormal all combined.
Exactly. So it's going to be epic.
So you have a medic and what do you say? A medic and a nurse?
No, I'm just a nurse. My husband said medic sounds cooler, and I'm like, I'm a nurse.
Oh.
Hey.
Well, and if you're not very good, you can still talk to him because Colleen's on cast, so she can help you out. Things don't work out. You're not going to lose anybody.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great. And so what next? You're still filming, or are you just trying to get one episode off the ground yet?
We're trying right now. We're in the process of doing all the editing and trying to get. We're trying to get the budget for production right now. That's what I'm trying to work on right now. I have several people interested in our show, so I'm trying to get all that worked out right now. So I'm in process of doing that, and and then Josh is doing editing and getting everything working and all that stuff. So it's starting to pay off. I mean, I will say that. So
I will say this right now that makes this, even through Ed and all this footage, is that what makes our show different than most other shows is that it's real. Mm-hmm. Some people, they'll just go shoot something and then it's like, oh, we're gonna add a little bit of After Effects to this. We're gonna change something up. Like most realities TV series are, but ours is 100% real. Mm-hmm. Everything that comes,
say that
100%. Everything that comes out of our mouths when we're doing interviews, when we're doing just an impromptu sit down and just talk about things, 100%. Nothing is scripted. Nothing is say you should probably say this. No, we let everyone say what they want to say and what their opinions are and what their experiences are. And that, to me, that's as different as what other shows are.
Right. Matt Kondracki just said hello. He's with Dark Echoes Paranormal on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you know Matthew at all.
Tell him I said hi.
Okay.
Hi.
He just heard you. He said hi. They just lined up with Paraflix, and I actually just filmed an episode for them. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, which will be coming out season 2. But just being behind the camera or in front of the camera, depending on where your job is, there's other stuff that happens that you could not have anticipated. There could be bloopers. There could be
those.
And
Lots
I'm
of
going to say
bloopers.
this, I'm going to say this. If Matthew's listening, I mean, look, I'm not going to give anything about the episode away because it's all under lock and seal until it comes out. But I will
Yes.
say this. One of the premises of the show is they really do want to keep it really real, and they blindfold the medium. We don't even know. I didn't know where I was going other than the town I was in. That's all I could tell you. I didn't know where. And they blindfolded me, drove me to the location, took me out, brought me in the building. And just as they were going to take the blindfold off, whoever was filming said, "Oh, we got to go back and do that again because something wasn't right or something was off." And so backed me out of the building, did the whole thing over again. But, it's all real, but those are the things you can't count on, things happen.
That's scary.
Y'all don't get any ideas, please. Please.
Blindfolding.
No blindfolding, please.
Not after last time. No.
Yeah.
Well, something interesting too. Colleen, is a psychic, but Katie, what a lot of people don't realize, and just from working with Katie, oh my gosh, she is so intuitive and she can hear and see things as well. And there was one place we were investigating and filming, and she was telling me some stuff, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and that's what's interesting too. There's stuff that happens behind the scenes too, that we pick up on through the investigating. Like that one place we were investigating where the lady was crying by the bathroom for.
Yes, I was about to go there, Gypsy, because the nurse comes out in me and I'm like, not what we think this is.
Right. And it's neat to work with, these two ladies that are very, very psychic, very intuitive, because this is stuff that I mean, I think we all have psychic abilities. Honestly, that's my thing. It's just, we don't always know how to tune in to those things, but those two people there are, it's pretty mind blowing. I love being able to work with them. It's going to be, it's a blast.
And I think the more you do what we do, the paranormal part of this and going into these places, I feel like if you're even remotely sensitive, it starts to become a little more.
Oh, yes.
A little more
Absolutely.
Heightened.
Right.
Everybody raise their hand. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly. And, I was raised to where, all of that paranormal stuff, I was raised in a very strong Christian environment, and don't believe in that kind of thing. And I remember when I had my very first paranormal experience, of course I wasn't doing any investigating, and I still don't necessarily consider myself as an investigator as in the paranormal, but I tell you, when you get into these places and you start experiencing, like when I was at Haunted Hill House, everybody was out investigating a room, and there all of a sudden I'm in the kitchen all by myself, and I get a tap, tap, tap on the shoulder, and I'm like, what just happened,
Or you get a whisper in the ear.
Right. So it's amazing.
It is amazing. And I feel like the more you do it, the stronger it will get, because you understand what it looks like. That's the thing that was tough for me, was thinking it was like, I mean, I saw Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, right? It's not like that.
No.
Makes sense. But when you realize what it really is that you're supposed to be tuning into, it's like, okay, now you got it. And it just keeps getting stronger and stronger when you go into places.
It's a muscle that you have to grow, honestly.
True.
Yeah.
Although, interestingly, Colleen, and I don't know if you and I talked about this in Texas, but I'm pretty much clamped down unless I'm supposed to be looking for it. So I don't just walk out and go, I've been on investigations and I'm like, I got nothing, there's nothing. I'm just shut down. But if I'm supposed to, it all comes out. Like when we filmed the TV show, I was getting like bombarded with stuff. And it's just, I think they know, spirit knows when you're working. Okay, you need us to show up. All right, we'll be there.
I agree. Like, I don't walk through, a store or somebody else's house just, feeling stuff. I feel like it's, like you said, spirit and our intent. Like, we know we're going there. We know we're going to do this, and we're already open to it. We're not just going to go through our daily lives just open to whatever is around and gonna bombard us.
Right, because that's no fun. And,
No.
and I did that.
Oh yeah.
It's no fun.
No.
But the investigating is fun. So do you have new places lined up?
Yes, I have locations reserved, and I'm waiting for production company, and then we're gonna once that takes place, then we'll start filming in those locations. I'm trying right now. I'm in the process of doing all that. So, but yeah, I'm basically the one who finds the locations.
And
Well-
Ryan is finding some really good ones that I can metal
Yes.
detect. And so I'm getting really excited about that.
Great.
Yeah.
So when we come back next, are you going to be at the Lone Star next year, do you think?
Yes.
So when we, fingers crossed, right? Yeah. When we get back there in 2025, let's investigate someplace together. We'll add a day or two onto the front of the back. That would be
Let's do it. I'm so down.
Absolutely.
You can even do a live stream if you want to from there. We can hook it up with
That would be fun.
AGRA, and just it doesn't have to be a whole show, but it could be kind of like this, and just this is us. This is what we're doing. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I know. I told Colleen when we were at the expo in San Antonio, I said, "You have got to meet Scott." I was like, "He is like the coolest guy ever." I was like, "He has the coolest vibes." And then I was like,
I don't know about
"Took
that.
him over to meet you."
Oh,
And he's
well,
got cool candles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Funny. It was kind of funny. It was just fun. You popped up and there you were, and that's
Yeah.
why I have the candles, because I used to read all the time,
Yeah.
but if people aren't into that, they just walk right by. But the candles bring them up to the table, so at least I have somebody to talk to. And I didn't even read. I didn't even read because I was alone and people were talking about the candles, and I couldn't break myself away to do it.
Well, I mean, they're awesome candles. What do you expect?
I don't know. I mean, that was the first time anybody had ever seen them in person. That was the
They're
first.
such a creative idea, like the way that y'all market them. It's just creative.
Well, I appreciate that. I just didn't want them to be dark but kind of fun. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kind of whimsical.
Kind of a quirky, comical, scary candle. Good way to explain it.
In a good way. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
The names are, I love the names. So it's exciting.
Let me be frank. Actually, one of the things we're doing too, and I don't want to make this about me, but I am going to tell you this because I think it's kind of cool. People in the paranormal field are all about raising money to help preserve some of these buildings that would have long been gone. And it's the paranormal people that come out and they investigate and they pay for investigations, and these buildings stay. We have a place here. Well, it's not really here. It's quite a bit north from where I am in Vermont, and it's called the Wilson Castle.
Huh.
And we have they are just the nicest people. And the castle's been in the family for, decades. And it takes a lot of money they finally were able to fix their roof because they were getting water in, and people go up there and investigate. The place is amazing. And so we have a candle that we're launching in March just for them.
Awesome.
And it
That's
raises
awesome.
money for them. So it's not, they get to buy it at wholesale and sell it, but if you buy it off our website, then they get a portion of that as well.
Yeah.
And so everything goes right there.
That's good.
Well, maybe
that?
Scott, maybe we'll have to do a Ghost Detectors candle later.
Ooh, talk to me about that.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
I've got a really even better idea. We can do a Ghost Detectors candle, and we'll get a little thing that they can metal detect and find in the bottom of the candle.
That's a
when
great
it melts
idea.
down,
A ring, or it could
That is awesome.
How cool
That
is
is cool. I like that.
Yes.
Stick with
You're
me for all your
brilliant,
marketing
Scott.
needs. I'm on it.
You're brilliant.
We
Scott.
got you, Scott.
There you go. A little thing, Somebody's asking a question here. Let's see. Stephanie is asking, any suggestions on paranormal equipment that is affordable and effective? How do you guys feel about that?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I mean, honestly, the best thing that's affordable would be an EMF meter and, of course, an EVP recorder. I think those are the basis of all paranormal for doing stuff that's inexpensive and you want to get started.
Flashlights also
flashlight. Definitely
Yes.
have a flashlight. But you know,
Flashlights.
most of us walk around with an iPhone or a phone, and there's a recorder in there. And I've caught some amazing things on my phone when I haven't had an actual recorder.
Well, I was going to say our sound guy Albie, which he's amazing. He's when he's hook up sound, he's had stuff come into his microphone that we couldn't even have heard, and he's learned how to filter it to where he can actually hear it when he goes back and does the editing. So I mean,
I've had that happen.
I've heard some interesting stuff.
Oh yeah,
listening to his stuff. Yeah.
Y'all know what these are?
No.
Ooh.
The 3D glasses?
yeah.
3D glasses. So recently I heard about people capturing stuff on their iPhones by using the lens, I think it was the red lens. So
Really?
this is something that's pretty inexpensive. I think I got all these off of Amazon. So our next experiment and with photos and video of what they can capture so what you do is you cut out the lens and you put it over your iPhone camera. Now I've heard iPhone. Now I don't know about other phones or phone cameras, but I can't wait to try this experiment because I
haven't heard about this, Gypsy.
Yeah, I've heard some amazing stuff. So I'm going to be experimenting this week, and I will give you some feedback.
Just the red one. Just the red one. Not.
I've heard the red one, but here's something. If you want to go down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, I don't know how many of you are on TikTok, but there is a certain thing to do with the old, I can't remember the mineral. I think it's a mineral with the blue lens glasses that were invented, and they actually used them in a lot of secret military things. I can't remember the name of the material, but look it up. And they were using a blue lens.
Is it uranium?
It wasn't uranium.
Okay.
It's something else. If I hear
uranium 238.
So this is something I guess we can all do our homework on. I can't recall it right now, but it was a blue lenses, and this guy invented this out of a certain mineral, and he made these lenses, and people were seeing all kinds of things in a different dimension.
Oh, I saw that on TikTok.
Did you? Okay.
You got to tell me about this, Gypsy. We should.
All right.
I'll
send you some, and we're going to do it on camera. So
awesome.
I'm going to be playing with this week, and let's capture some of this.
Awesome. I'm all about experiments. And it's speaking of experiments, Emilio that works with our team. He is absolutely amazing with way out there theories. And that's what I love about him as our group. Like, he's not on right now, but he's just amazing with crazy experiments. That's a good way to explain it. With mirrors and all types of stuff he's always trying to come up with.
Well, and someone that uses a compass. Have you ever seen a compass get used?
Oh, with polarity changes?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it'll spin around whenever magnetic fields charge this atmosphere. It will also do that.
That's amazing. Gypsy, I need to ask you, is that the wrapping around those glasses that we're hearing?
Yeah, sorry, I was about to pull one out.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's loud. I can mute it.
That's all right. It's like the little old lady in the, and she's singing in the symphony.
She's doing the candy.
I thought she had candy she wasn't sharing.
Right.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. But listen, we have about 5 minutes left. So I want to make sure we have time to let people know where they can find the show, learn about it, see future episodes that are coming up. Tell us how we can find Ghost Detectors.
You can find us on Facebook right now, and then we have other platforms we're going to start basing things on. But right now, we're just kind of build up and trying to create something. We're trying to get everything going. But yeah, Instagram,
like your 1960.
Y'all look really weird.
Mike, hey.
Wow. Sorry. Just good job.
You're on YouTube.
So you can find me on YouTube on Zero Discrimination, as well as my website, gypsydigs.com. And I'm sure we'll be having a Ghost Detectors website soon. And all kinds of goodies coming. So everything's still in the works, but we've been working hard. Josh has been working his tail end off, getting a lot of this edited, and he's doing an amazing job. And then we just got our poster done, and it looks amazing. I don't know if you got to see it at the Paracon, Scott, but
Is that the one you sent me to use for the show? Because I thought the logo
Yes.
was fantastic. Yeah,
Yes,
the logo
that's-
was really
that's-
fantastic.
Yes. We had that done, and then we have we're working on our also. You there?
Nope.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find us on Ghost Detectors on Facebook and Shadow Encounters Paranormal. Also, that's our own, actual paranormal group that's working with Ghost Detectors.
Yep. Shadow Encounters Paranormal. So I'm sure you'll be posting stuff there too about what's going on
Yes.
with everything. That's great.
And hopefully, hopefully very soon we'll post our trailers. We got 2 right now. Hopefully here in the next couple weeks, we'll post this trailers up for everyone to see on Facebook. And then on, you can also check out my website, my own production company at lgfkpictures.com. You can see all the other work that I've done on there. And I'm hoping as the show goes on that those Ghost Detectors episodes would also be on there as well. That'll be added more for marketing it.
What was it again? LGIF?
No, lgfkpictures.com.
lgfkpictures.com. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that'll be great. I mean, you all come from such a diverse background. That's what I think love about this. You've got the paranormal and the ghost, the medium and the video person and the metal detector. That's great. We
have like a full spectrum team.
You do. I think it's fantastic. It really is something that I've not seen before. Really, I've not seen this concept at all. Just bits and pieces of it in different places. But never in the same place, which I love.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome to see us all in action whenever anyone's going to be able to see it. They're going to love it. I have no doubt in my mind.
Well, I have no doubt, and I'll be looking out for it. I'll be checking it out, and we'll stay in touch because if you haven't friended me on Facebook, please do. I know Ryan did, and Colleen, you did too, right? No, Colleen,
yes,
you did. Yeah, I know I was connecting you with email. Usually, I just kind of send a Facebook message, but yeah. So that'll be right. Great. Stay in touch so that we can find out how you're going.
Thank you, Scott.
No, I'm so glad that you reached out and said something, because we are booked literally into almost May now with shows, and we just happened to have this opening. So I'm glad we were able to do it while it was fresh in our minds. And if you want to do a candle, let me know, because I think that would be an awesome idea.
I'm so down.
And I love the idea of having something put somewhere in the candle.
I love that.
That's a great idea.
Several metal detectorists that I know do the bath bombs where, it's got the big ball and then it's got a relic or something. But I love the idea with the candles. So that's definitely, we're going to have to do that.
Oh, yes.
All right, folks. I got to say, we've got 30 seconds left. I just want to thank you all for being here. Next week, I'm hoping Christina will be back. We have Dana Stricker, psychic medium, is going to be joining us on the show. She was also at the Lone Star Paracon right across from my table. Thank you all for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting with each and every one of you. And thanks for welcoming us back. We will see you next week right here on the Paranormal Project. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Paranormal Project radio show with Scott Allen and Christina Bowen. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. While you're there, leave us a rating and review. We'll be back next week with more exciting guests. Now go out there and explore the paranormal.